Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and as usual, I'm joined by Susan. And this week we are delving back in time to 1940, to be precise, to a movie film franchise starring Boris Karloff. I think there was about five movies made of this franchise, and he's playing a detective. He's playing Mr. Wong, um, a San Francisco-based Chinese detective, um, where he's involved in a suicide or murder mystery which needs solving of a shipping magnate, shall we say. So, Susan, we're talking Doomed to Die from 1940. What say you?
Doomed to Die was the reason I chose it was because it's a noir movie, but because it's got Boris Karloff as part of this horror classic box set that I've got. It's just really cool. The other thing that is really interesting about it is that it was like the fourth out of five out of Boris Karloff uh, Detective Wong series, and it was like there was it start. I think the series started in 36 or 35 and went all the way through till like the last one is at the very end of 40. So and this one was about a ship called the Wentworth Castle. It wasn't actually about the ship. It starts off a lot about the ship, but then it ends up more about the people who are involved. And it is very noir in the fact that the people who are involved, meaning the, the Detective Wong and Bobby Logan, who is a reporter who actually becomes part of, in an earlier movie, becomes part of the detective team. She and this Bill Street, she's put on the police beat, which is like, you know, trying to solicit the information from the cops, and she's got a lot of attitude. It's really cool. And then this guy Fleming has a son who wants to marry the shipping magnate's daughter, and so the guy whose son is after the daughter is uh, is in the office talking to the magnate, and then he is kind of escorted out, and then his son is escorted out, and then somehow there's a shot fired, and the guy dies. And some people say that it is suicide, and some people say that it can't be suicide um, because they blame it on the son, and the son's name is Dick Fleming, and his he's played by William Stelling. And I mean, it's got Catherine Craig, who's like a great actress. She's done a bunch of like things all the way through till the 50s, 60s, 70s. And it's got and it turns out that it's Matthews Ludlow, and maybe it is somebody else who's involved. Um, they instead of calling um, instead of calling the Chinese gangs in Chinatown triads, they're called tongs.
Mhm.
And I think that that's just because it sounds more Chinese, the word tong. But for for a, for a fan of of sort of genre stuff, you end up hearing the word triad as a as meaning the Chinese gangster, and um and but this detective Wong isn't part of a triad, so he's kind of looking in from the outside. He's like the cops trying to find the killer because he is he has a different sort of mindset. And there's not very many people who could play uh anymore. You know, people like to insist that somebody of the right ethnicity play the person of ethnicity X, you know. But this one, it didn't seem insulting to me. I come off a lot as a SJW, and that's as it should be. But but Boris Karloff is able to really, I mean, he inhabits so many different kinds of people. You know, he's not uh, restricted to playing Eastern Europeans. Anyway, I just really like him. Um, and I know that is partially because of his being attached to the Shelley Frankenstein narrative so much, and sometimes with the vampire stuff, and he's got a lot of chops, and I just think I think very highly of him. And but these movies were of a time, and it kind of leads you to think, the joke that I was, going through my head all the time was, really is the street of San Francisco. The name of the cop, and the fact that the cop isn't there. Anyway, oh, that was bad. But it was great. And um yeah, the fact that Bobby knew every other female person in the whole of the city, you know, all the women, she was able to reach all the women. So she was great, and she was played by Marjorie Reynolds, and she definitely was able to comfort Cynthia Wentworth, played by Catherine Craig, and also, I think that the ship named the Wentworth Castle. I've never heard of a ship being named after a building. That was the strangest thing. I've heard. I see lots of ships every day coming and going around here, and yeah, that was just a really unique name. I was like, I kept trying to figure out what they were talking about. Were they talking about a castle or a ship? And then it was like, oh, okay, just read a little bit and then directed by William Nye and written by Hugh Wiley, wrote some books, and then Michael Jacoby and Ralph Gibbert Bedison uh, turned it into a screenplay. And I enjoyed it. Yeah. Over to you, Lee. What's your opening thoughts?
Right. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this one before. I have seen another Mr. Wong film before. Um, this we say was the fourth. There was five in total. I know
Uh-huh.
uh,
Four out of
Karl,
five.
Karl, Karloff didn't appear in the last one. Another actor played Mr. Wong in the fifth movie. Um, But yeah, to get a well-known British actor to play a Chinese detective as what's the phrase? Yellow face,
Hmm.
which Karloff didn't do. He subtly there was a little bit of makeup on the eyes and no Chinese accent at all. He just used his normal British accent with his lisp
Yep.
because Karloff was famous for his lisp. And don't get me wrong, I love Karloff, but I don't know. His it could have slightly added a little accent, I think, but the film, company wanted him to play. I don't know. Um, it was a little bit off-putting with that really crisp British accent coming through, um, and I was quite surprised because I've always. This is going back to Frankenstein and all them movies. I have, I've always imagined Karloff to be very tall. He wasn't really because the police constable or whatever his name was, what was it, Captain
Street.
Street, towered
The
above him.
street of San Francisco.
He towered above Karloff, and I'm thinking, I always thought Karloff was tall. Then it came to me when he was in Frankenstein. He wore them great big platform boots, didn't he,
Hmm.
to make him look taller. Um, but yeah, it was it wasn't a long movie. It was about what 70 minutes long. It was as you say, it wasn't about the boat. It was about. I say I don't know how they got to the end and how they solved it. To be honest, um, but the way Wong went about his business, and he was sneaking. Really, he was always doing his investigations during the night. Did you notice that, Susan?
I did. He
Yeah,
was
he
sneaking.
was sort of sneaking into apartments, up the fire escapes and in the cellars, and I'm thinking you're not going to see much in the dark, but because it is a black and white movie, so when they are in these buildings in the night time, you can't see much. I mean, when they found the murdered Chinese, whatever you want to call him, who was smuggling in this building on the docks. Um, why don't you just put the light on? If they found the body. You might as well just put the light on. But yeah, it was an interesting one. I did like the sort of comedy pairing of Street and
Bobby.
Bobby.
And
Yeah,
Bobby being
the
a British name. A Bobby being the British name of a cop, right?
well, it's short for Roberta, isn't it?
Right, but the you
Bobby is
know.
yeah, but yeah, I did like the comedy element there. There was always bickering. Him trying to
Uh-huh.
shouting her down, and she's retaliating. That was quite good. And they're going to get married because they love each other. Um,
Yeah.
and Carlos' characterization, say it was a little bit off-putting with his accent, but everything else about it was, he is, the way he moved, the way he held his, because he had an umbrella and all like that, and it was a great characterization from him. Because you say you don't often associate Karloff with that type of role, because the Frankenstein, the horror genre, overshadows that. And I don't know why this movie is in your box set of horror,
I don't either.
because it's not a horror movie, is it?
Not at all. It was
but
very film noir.
yeah, it's the I mean, it's understandable with the well, yes, yeah. It's very film noir. Um, and as they say, the supporting cast as well. You had the father of the accused, sort of covering up for his son.
Hmm.
You had the blackmailer. So you had all that going on, and then you had the chauffeur, which was quite the character of the chauffeur was very abrupt and obnoxious to the law, and and they say then you've got the who else was there? I can't remember his name now. It'll come to me anyway. The other guy who was turns out to be part of the people who made the magnet. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, it was a nice little movie. It makes me want to go back and watch the others. I know I have seen one of them before, so I can't remember what it was though. I can't remember the title of it. But this one, not bad. It's not going to be a classic, but as you say, it's very noir, and it has that feel about it. I mean, it's very. I know Charlie Chan came before Mr. Wong
Hmm.
in
Yes.
in creation, but I think I read somewhere before that Mr. Wong was sort of made in competition with the Charlie Chan franchise. But I don't know. For some reason, I've got it in my head that the same film company made the same both the franchises.
Right,
I,
and Karloff was in some of the Charlie Chan movies.
so, I,
I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah. But yeah, it was a nice little thing to sit down and watch. So, anything else, Susan?
Oh, I liked the way that they would drag the bodies around. I thought that was kind of like bad. It was bad police procedural stuff. And the other thing that I liked was I mean the triads, the tongues were had all of these generations in it. Like there were the youngers, and like there was like people all the way. Like it looked like there was a senior citizen in the tongue. Anyway, that was kind of cool. And the other thing I liked was I liked the way uh that they would. I mean, when Bobby and Street were in the cop shop in the police station, and Wong came in. It was always like uh, Wong was always at the same eye level. I mean, there's a lot of it was very sort of egalitarian, and
Mm,
in the way it was shot, it was very much these three people were considered all three heroic in the realm of San Francisco. So a cop, a reporter, and a quasi private detective were all considered like the same kind of heroic stance. And I see that would be still the case in San Francisco to this day. It is very egalitarian. You gotta have a lot of money to live there, but if you got a lot of money to live there, it's still all pretty much, they have a lot of respect for it's a lot different than it is in some of the other cities, like I don't know, Stockton, Sacramento, Redding, where I lived. Those are all other places. Even Los Angeles anymore. The police are always suspect now in in storytelling, and you could tell that this is. I mean, I never really got the feeling that this was the way it was there, but now that I've seen it, and I was able to watch a couple other ones of the franchise that you said, and I liked them, and I think that and it is very interesting the kind of play that they have. And the other thing that was really interesting was that the shipping magnet. I mean, they didn't go into sort of uh, whether or not he was leaving the company to somebody. I mean, like that was all part of it
Mhm.
with that one guy. But I mean, like I having watched Glass Onion and Knives Out and stuff like that. Those movies are fun too because of the detective in it. But they end up reading the will, and there just wasn't any of that, which sort of would make it more emotionally satisfying, I suppose. So this is just very much a film noir, like really, really sort of cut and dry, very sassy. Oh my God, everybody was so sassy, and I like that. And and again, Karlov, I'd never, I hadn't actually until saw these. I hadn't actually seen him do anything other than the Universal monster. So yeah, this was great, and so. Yeah, I don't know why in the hell it's in my horror collection. It just isn't a horror movie. It's very sad. It's a sassy movie, is what it is. Anyway, so all that to be said, I enjoyed it.
Well,
And
it's
go ahead.
well as I say, I've got a Tales of Terror 200 movies box set upstairs, and it's in that as well. So,
I feel it doesn't make any sense. It's just because it's Karloff, I think.
yeah, they've seen the name, put it in the horror section.
Yeah.
But I did sort of see that, when he got shot and got the flesh wound in his arm, and he
Uh-huh.
was told to keep his arm in a sling. And then in the next scene, he's climbing up the fire escape with no sling and no pain in his arm. And I'm thinking, no, but continuity is not really. You know, they're not bothered
It's
about that. I don't think.
just not continuity. It's super. It's the hero. It's the heroic stance. That's what I'm talking about. He can be a hero like that.
Oh right, yeah. So, but yeah, it was an interesting watch. So, anything else, Susan, or should we go to fantasy and score?
We can go on. I will. I will give this a. I'll give this 9.5. 9.5 umbrellas out of 10. I really enjoyed I enjoyed the way that all of these movies were, and I really liked this one. I liked how they played into the difficulty of the father son relationships and the difficulty of father daughter relationships
Yeah.
and the difficulty and the nation. love interest of the cop and the reporter. So there's a lot to be said about this in many different ways. And and so 9.5 of those umbrellas out of 10. Although what you're going to do with a half umbrella, I don't know.
I don't know. For me, I enjoyed it, but there was a few little niggles, as I say, about Karloff's accent, and so you'll give it now. I'm going to give it 8.5 eaten hats out of 10.
Oh,
If you've seen it, you know what we're on about.
if so and so turns out to not be arrested, I'll eat my hat.
Yeah.
So
Oh, dear. And that's how the movie ended.
fast.
So that's our little review of Doomed to Die. So if you've seen it, guys, let me know. Leave a comment in the under this video. Let us know. Also, leave a comment below if you'd like to join us doing this stuff. Um, we'd like to see people on here. Get to know us. So, and we'll message you back. Say, come on, join us. All you have to be is 18 and over. Because some things, what we do, watch and discuss, are 18 rated. All you need is a camera, microphone on the device you use, and you're good to go. Also, as well, just a reminder of our YouTube channel. If you subscribe to us, please press the bell notification button, and you'll get notified every time. If you just drop the bell, you'll get notified every time we put something on. So is that it, Susan?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well, so
Oh,
we're
it's
gonna
all over but the shouting, I suppose.
we're gonna go now and have some nice communal tea with our neighbourly tongs, and hope to see you next time, guys. Bye for now.